All right, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, very good morning to all of you. I don't know why the strength is low today. For any particular reason, you
Ambika
like
ma'am is having a meeting.
meeting with
Us B section students.
PTM is there, is it?
No, not PTM, meet and greet type, like knowing what is going on in our lifestyle.
How come we have a class now? How can they schedule it? This is not fair. I was not being
Yes.
informed. It's not
It,
fair. Not fair for me, not fair for the students also, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, you should have informed me at least. I could have not scheduled the class. Anyway, I have already scheduled and 24 people have already joined. So let me continue because we are this module 4 is a kind of a what to say has bulk of information to be disseminated. It's a big module. Okay. So I am trying to spend as much quality time on each of the topics which are relevant. So I'll let me start without whiling of much time. So what we did in the last class was on we did discuss quite some bit on Kaizen, right? So in the last class we tried to understand what Kaizen means and how this continuous improvement that is going to happen with the least of the investment and by the involvement of almost everybody who are part and parcel of the organization structure. So we also learned what are the differences between Kaizen and innovation. What are the parameters or effects, parameters like effects, circumstances, what kind of investment is required. We try to differentiate between an organization which is trying to portray Kaizen and an organization which is trying to portray innovation. We also I mean, when we are about to wind up the class in the last session, an important topic came up whether countries like India, depending upon the kind of financial backgrounds that we have, economic backgrounds, whether we belong to either a growing economy or a grown economy or an underdeveloped economy, there are the management, what to say, gurus have described certain evaluators based on which certain kind of pathways or strategies can be taken. What they say is grown up economies or well developed, already developed economies would always try to work towards innovations, right? Because one of the constraints of innovations was there was the requirement of huge investment, and there is no dearth of what to say money in already and developed economy, right? So they would always prefer to go for innovation. But when it comes to a what to say underdeveloped economy or a developing economy, it would be more preferential for them to follow Kaizen, because using Kaizen you can really build robust products, robust processes, but at the same time your investment requirements are also minimal. Only the peak people requirements are more. Technology dependency will be minimal, right? So that was about Kaizen. We spoke about a lot of differences that differentiated Kaizen from innovations. And we also ended up with a debate, or we wanted to have a debate on whether India should take up Kaizen or should follow innovation kind of strategy to grow up. Okay. So all said and done, we couldn't actually complete the debate because we had lack of time, and we can always keep that as an topic of discussion whenever we have a face-to-face interaction. Now, all said and done, Kaizen is an important topic we discussed, as well as it is important for in the point of view of examination, right? Now, today I would like to, before getting into another important topic on improvement strategies, let us to finish off Kaizen today with the kind of tools. What happened?
Sir, not able to hear, sir. No, sir.
Sir, we can't hear anything. You're not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I'm restarting my computer. In the meantime, I logged in from my mobile. I hope this is okay. Is the audio okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, I'll mute my video so that I can increase the bandwidth. Okay, so let me mute my or unlock my video. All right. So till my computer restarts, let me go through the topics through the mobile here itself. Okay, so what I was trying to communicate was in the last few classes we have learned a lot of things about Kaizen, how Kaizen is different from uh, innovation and all of the rest of the stuff. How Kaizen is all about continuous improvement without with the involvement of all the employees or all those people concerned in the organization without spending much of money. So we took up a lot of examples. Now today, just wanted to give you some insight into some of the tools that are used for Kaizen. Okay, so when I say tools use it for Kaizen, please don't mistake it for tools which are used to evaluate the kind of outcomes out of Kaizen. See, Kaizen is a kind of a initiative taken by organizations for improving the quality of whatever is the service or the product that they are doing. And once they use this strategy, there will be some outcomes. And we need certain tools for identifying whether there has been an increase in the quality or something like that. That is different. Okay. Now, rather than that, I'm trying now to tell you what are the different tools used to implement Kaizen, right? So this is a differentiation that you should all keep in mind when we are trying to discuss this. All right. So there are a few very prominent, there are many such tools that can be used. Some of the very popular tools are the PDCA, which was, demonstrated by Deming in the Deming cycle, and where we talk about the do and then control and action, plan, do, control and action, right? So those was the four different initiatives that needs to be done for continuous improvement. Now there is something called as a 5S strategy, right? 5S for lean, lean management is what a very popular lean manufacturing. This is very popular in lean manufacturing. 5S strategies. Okay. So what is 5S and why do we want it? Okay. So if you ask such question, so what we can say is whenever we go to organizations, there is a workplace where people work, right? So there is a I can use a word called as a visual place where people will be working, right? So 5S represents disciplines for maintaining a visual workplace. So what does this tries to portray here is whenever there is a manufacturing strategy, okay, one of some of the main strategies could be lean manufacturing, right? That means to say they want to spend the least to manufacture the commodity, okay? So in this context, the 5 S's are very important. So what is this 5S? We'll take each one of them and try to ponder a little more in depth on each one of them. Okay. The first S is something called as SORT. SORT, sort. Okay. So what do you mean by sort? Okay. So I already given you a hint that we are talking about the visual workplace. That means the actual place where employees are working, right? So what does sort means? Remove all items from the workplace that are not needed for current operation. For example, take up a workshop like a manufacturing automobile workshop where they repair something, right? So many tools are required to manufacture to repair that particular component or manufacture that particular component. So what happens is many a times all these workers bring all the necessary tools to the workplace and then they start working with it. So what happens is there are for certain processes. So if there is there may be 10 processes in fabrication of a particular product. So every process requires only a certain number of equipments that are required or tools that are required. But what this workman or who would have done is he would have bought all the tools required for all the processes. So that is not actually a process where it is following quality, right? Because he has to search for the actual component or the tool that is required for that particular process, and failure or loss of time is a great loss in terms of quality, right? So remove all items from the workplace which are not needed for current operations, leave only the bare essentials. Okay. So what should be the motto? The motto should be you should target excess inventory, absolute items, quality defects, unneeded tools and equipments. I can also give you examples of inventory. That means to say, imagine that you need certain goods to manufacture something. For example, if it is an automotive industry, steel is required for fabrication of automobiles. So what companies can do is they are actually import or they ask suppliers of steel to deliver them steel plates or steel sheets of steel. Now, supposedly, if you are manufacturing 100 automobiles a day, let us say, and X amount of steel is required for manufacturing 100 automobiles a day. Similarly, what you do, you keep around, let us say, 15 days of inventory in your stock. Okay. But what happens when you keep, let us say, 30 days of inventory in your stock? So 30 days of inventory is going to what make you need a bigger warehouse, you need people to maintain the warehouse, the warehouse has to be properly serviced. Okay, you would have your investment on those inventory would also gone. So we are talking about a lot of what to say burden in terms of financial burden that you'll have to do. So this is one example of where if you don't have the right amount of inventory in your what to say warehouses, you are actually incurring losses. So when we talk about cost of service, remember when we spoke about Kaizen, so that is also kind of a losses that you will be incurring. So there will be some what to say scrap material that would have been a byproduct of your manufacturing. What is the use of storing all of them in your warehouse when we could have disposed them and made the disposed material as cash, and you could have infused the cash back into the department or organization's financial needs or something like that. So every wherever we are talking about, there will be some kind of place what is the issues where we can sort out. So one of the SS which are very important for lean manufacturing is sorting. Okay, so the what can they do or how they can do is the processes or the people who are working at various different levels, since it is involvement of everybody, right? Kaizen we are talking about, they can based on their experience of system, they can have a system of red flagging. Red flagging is where they can put a red flag on not a literal red flag, they can raise a point on saying to the higher management saying that we are holding on to more inventory which is not necessary or something like that. Okay. Okay. There is also something called as a just-in-time manufacturing, which we will come down probably after some time, right? So the first S was basically about one of the S's was sorting, right? Second S is set in order. Okay, this is an important S that we are talking about. Okay, so what do you mean by set in order is arrange needed items so that they can be easy to find, use, and examples I can give you is if you go to a what is a high life dining or to a five-star hotel, the dining area where you sit and eat, no, the table. Surrounding your plate where they serve your food, you will have various different cutleries, right? Or basically your spoons, your forks. So there are in what is in fine dining, there is a different kind of a what is a setup. You are expected to drink your soup in a particular kind of a spoon, and then your main course in a different kind of a cutlery, and then finally when it comes to dessert, it's a different kind of a spoon, right? Now it's a fine well defined order. First the starters will come, soups will come, and then the main course will come, and then finally the dessert will come. So the how the spoons will be arranged is from the external. You'll start with the something that is related to the starters, and then to the main course, and then finally as you come inside of for your left hand as well as your right hand, you'll have different tools. So that is set something we can compare it to set in order. Same can be the process that can happen in an automobile industry while manufacturing, right? So setting in order will what will happen? It will reduce the commotion time that is required to find your spare or tools. It will reduce your time of wastages, right? So you can use paintings and drawings and signboards, and so this is one of the second S's which will be used for visual. So what all we are talking about is about a visual workplace. What you can do in your visual workplace, that means what you see as a workplace, so that can better up somebody else's efficiency, right? So the first S is sort, second S is set in order. Now the third S is called shine. Okay, so when I say shine, keep your workplace in a shiny order. That does not mean that you take a sandpaper and you shine off all the tools. The intent of shine is keep your workplace as spick and span as possible, right? So something like sweeping, wiping off equipment, paint, and then supposedly you have some oil that has leaked. You keep you wipe off the oil, assuring everything stays clean. Okay, so that is what is the meaning of the word called shine. Okay, so there should be some set of cleaning inspection checklist that should be created, and that should be properly monitored. What was the previous kind of a checklist, and now what is the checklist? There has to be an improvement in the kind of way in which you keep your environment clean. So in this way, these small steps, no. So we are never talking about anything related to the product. We are talking about a workplace where the product is getting developed. So we're talking about sorting out the equipments. We are talking about setting the equipments in order. We are talking about cleaning the environment. We are never talking about anything regarding to the product, but still, all those things is going to make the quality of the product better, right? So that is what is the idea behind Kaizen's 5 tools for improving quality. Okay, so sort, set in order, shine are the 3 S's. The fourth is standardize. Okay, so what do you mean by standardize? Standardize is a method to maintain the first 3 disciplines. Okay, that means to say sort, set in order, and shine. So standardize is to make all these things common for everybody. That is more important. Okay, because if different people start to use different strategies, okay, that may not be as efficient as possible, right? Okay. Okay. Am I audible? Okay, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, one second. Okay, there was some interference. Okay. Am I audible now? Can somebody acknowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Because I'm back on my computer, so I just wanted to acknowledge. All right. So, what was that? So, we discussed about 4 S's. One was sort, second one was set in order, third one was shine, and the fourth one was standardize, where we try to standardize all the above 3 S's to make that as a standard for all such similar processes. Okay. And fifth S is to sustain. Now, this is very important. You can always come up with a sorting. For example, what to say? You imagine that you're running in marriage hall, right? So, in a marriage hall, cooking happens. So, dirtiness, keeping the proper hygiene conditions are all very essential. So, you inform the people saying that you have to sort the place, you have to set in order, then you shine, you have to keep your place shine. You standardize the process. That means when you standardize, you say that this should be the process way in which things has to run. Now, sustain that particular process is very, very important, right? So allocate conditions. You should have certain conditions which can support those 5 S's, that's SS 5S that you have trying to impose onto an employee for him to follow, right? So you have to allocate time for him to do that. You have to create awareness about these importance of these 5S's, provide a structure, show support. Okay, so these are the some of the important what to say. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't know. There's some issue. My screen goes blank, so I thought I was not audible. But anyway, I hope I'm audible now. Okay, so these 5 S's were one of the tools that is used in Kaizen to implement Kaizen. Okay, so apart from this, there are 7 ways also that are available. Okay, so there are something called as 7 ways of lean manufacturing. Okay, which is used in organizations to implement various different strategies. Right. So the first one is defects. Okay. So when I'm talking about an organization trying to implement total quality management, they are trying to implement various different strategies. Okay. And in the process, they are involving their employees. They are training them. They're giving them a lot of inputs. Now, all this said and done, let us talk about the product that they are manufacturing. Okay. For example, if they're manufacturing, let us say, a cake. Okay, and what happens when you're manufacturing a cake? The you manufacturing a square kind of you have a square base, and you pour your dough into the square base, and then you bake the cake. After you bake the cake, you find out that there is a lot of people who are asking for round cakes. Okay, so what you do is, after you have developed the cake, after you have developed the cake, you are now trying to make a cake which is round in shape. So you cut a lot from the exterior to make the square cake look like a round cake. Now what happens when you try to do, there will be a lot of waste that will be generated, right? The cut off part of the square cake which has now become round, there are so many wastes that got included. Now what will you do with this waste? What will you do with this waste? It's a waste. It's already called as a waste because it is uh, it's a byproduct that has come out. Now what will happen in the process of doing so? There could be some defects that could be generated in the cake, right? So because of this defect, you may have to rework, you may have to scrap the whole process.
Sir, not audible. What?
Hello, Manasa. I mean, everybody, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Now, yes, sir.
Okay. The goat sounds were made by whom? I mean, somebody. Are they rearing goats or what? I can hear a lot of goats sounding. See again. Whose house is that? Huh? Hello. All of you, if you're not part of the conversation, kindly mute your speakers so that only my voice will be audible. All right, am I audible now? Let me continue. Hello,
Yes, sir.
am I audible, Jarin?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it's audible.
Sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir. Now it's audible.
Good. Okay, I'll continue with my mobile itself. Okay. So we were talking about 7 defects or 7 ways of an organization that can lead, that are the main, culprits who bring down the quality. So we will discuss the 7 ways that can be avoided to ensure that the product can be of a higher quality. Okay. So the first of the ways we are talking about is the defects, right? So we were talking that supposedly if your process is defective, then you may have to rework or scrap the whole already done work. So you'll be losing your lot of time, money, as well as your material, all those stuff, right? So you might, if the same defected product goes to the customer, you might lose the customer also. To avoid this, what we have to do is we have to move from a traditional, what to say, control system that we used to identify and remove all these defects, to an innovative concept where you come up with various different new strategies that is going to ensure that at your workplace, okay, you are ensuring that the defects don't originate. So defects can come at various different points. It can originate at the workplace where the manufacturing happens. It can originate after the product is manufactured during the transportation or anything. And it can also happen at the customer's place because of the customer's environment. One simple example I can say is if you are buying a pastry, a customer buys a pastry was very carefully thought process, and then it was developed in a cold environment so that it does not, what to say, fade away, or it does not wobble or anything like that. It is stored also in a very cool place so that it maintains its shape. But after it has been sold to the customer, if the customer is taking in a what to say container, or in a transportation container which has a very hot and temperature, by the time the container reaches his home, maybe it has all, what to say, the cold, since it was not in a cold environment, the icing and all would have come down, and then it would have not been in the proper shape it is supposed to be. Now the customer is now experiencing a defect in the product, right? So that does not mean that the, what to say, the defect originated at the workplace. So the defect at the workplace must be minimized. So that was one of the objectives of Kaizen here that we are talking about, right? So that is one of the ways is the defects. The second waste is called as waiting. Okay, waiting is caused mainly by low reliability or availability of an equipment. Okay, for example, if it is a what to say, we call it as what is that, supply chain. If the supply chain fails, that means one of the raw materials which needs to be supplied by one of your retailers, customer or partners, if he fails to deliver it to you, your what to say, production line will be stopped because there is a lack of material that is required for your manufacturing, right? So waiting is caused because of low reliability, so which needs to be what to say, answered. So there are several strategies and tools and disciplines that will prevent this type of loss. Okay, what you can do is analyze your process. This will, by this you will be able to propose some cost effective improvements, which is very important. You can suggest improvements, but they have to be cost effective. Okay, so something like simple relocations or remapping of the places. Supposedly, if one material is manufactured in one place and then it has to be transported to another place, and imagine that there is a transport strike. So what is happening here is the material is there, but it is stuck at a different place. So what can happen is, if you can relocate the manufacturing process next to each other, then the dependency on this transport can be avoided. So waiting is one other waste. Okay, so of the 7 waste. The third one is the processing. Okay, so over processing takes place everywhere, right? So when we take it processing, for example, the final process on, let us say, a shoe manufacturing company is making the shoe look good by brushing them with, to bringing them to a shine. So what can happen is over processing. That means, say, if the shoe is being put under the brush machine for a longer period of time, brush is basically an abrasive which is going to brush against the material to make it shine. If it is made to brush for a longer amount of time, maybe the top layer of the shoe can be worn out, and then the whole quality of the shoe might come down, right? An example I'm trying to give. Okay, so over processing takes place everywhere. So some step has to be added or not to be added. Some step needs to be what to say, corrected if it is incorrect. So individuals or teams of manufacturing can find and force all this what to say, appropriate actions that will save time, material, and space and money, right? So processing is the third waste which needs to be looked into. The fourth what to say, waste is the production. Okay, Overproduction is also as bad as underproduction. Yeah, I hope you are understanding this sentence, right? So when supposedly if there is an agarbatti factory producing agarbattis, just because you have the material for cheap available for cheap, if you buy all the material and start asking your laborers to start manufacturing agarbattis, they will manufacture and give it to you. But you should also remember there is a lifetime for that manufactured good. And if the demand is less, and if you have already produced the product, then if the demand is not there, then it is going to be there in a warehouse for a long time, and then you are going to incur losses, right? So production is very important. If you produce something very early also there is a problem. If you produce too late also it is a problem. For example, if there is a festivity coming up, if the crackers are being produced, if the crackers are finally coming to the market after Diwali, can you imagine what will be the sales of those crackers? Or the other way around, if Diwali is in November, now only if crackers are in the market, what will happen to the crackers? Both are in a very bad situations, right? So you should produce the kind of product at the right time in the right amount. Okay, so this is very very important. So lean manufacturing is a concept where it establishes a one piece flow environment, right, where production obeys the market. This is an important statement. Production obeys the market. Okay, so we have to bridge that demand and supply. Okay, so that is about the fourth waste. Fifth waste we are talking about is motion. Okay, there are many cases where people are required to perform some unnecessary actions, okay, or motions which are not efficient, right? For example, if there is an organizations and then because of some personal misunderstandings, let us say the manager of a particular department is being moved into another department. Now this is going to disturb the whole process of uh, whole process of workflow that was happening in that particular department where the manager was there. So motion is a very important disturbance that needs to be avoided, right? The sixth waste that we are talking about is the inventory. Okay, having too much material is also a waste. Okay, when you have work in progress that is happening, finished goods, having too many finished goods is also not a good situation for industries. Okay, so that is what happens. So when there is a demand, they manufacture, and whenever there is a pile up of stock in the final products of the organization, they try to push the product into the market by giving discounts and all those stuff. So that that's a different strategy. So one of the ways is inventory. Try to have as less inventory as possible, so that this is also one of the strategies of just in time. Okay, where there you'll have actually zero inventory. That means say nothing is manufactured. A very good example that I can give for this is, I hope a few years back there was an advertisement of Ferrari that used to come. Okay, where a customer walks into a showroom and he looks at the model of a particular Ferrari where he likes it, and then he says, "Okay, I'm buying this Ferrari." The moment he says he is buying this Ferrari, at the workshop where the manufacturing of the car happens, a lot of integration happens there, and a car is ready, a unpainted car is ready. Now the customer has to decide what will be the color of the car. Okay, so the moment he says red color, which is a very popular color among Ferraris, at the factory showroom where the car is available, the machine starts to spray red color onto the red color paint onto the car. It is still in the process. The customer changes his mind and he tries to say to the salesperson that why not white? So the moment he says white, the machines at the factory stop painting red paint, just with the hope that he might change his mind to a white color Ferrari. And then but the customer again changes back his mind to, okay, no, I'll go back with red, and the machine starts again spraying red, like that. So that's a good example of a advertisement where they try to portray how just in time works, right? So inventory, having zero inventory is the objective, but having the right kind of inventory is what is being suggested here. So that was the sixth waste. And finally, transportation. The last waste that we are talking about is a transportation. Okay. Ineffective material handling system will actually cause a lot of inconvenience to the whole organization, right? Right. It could be starting from the raw material or to the transportation of the final product, right? So all these are the seven different ways that are available, rather than available, seven ways that organizations have to look into to bring about quality improvement in their products and services, right? Uh, okay, so that was some of the very important points of Kaizen. Okay, there are a few more point tools of Kaizen, such as five whys, WHY. Okay, you have to ask five questions. Okay, whether you are an answer to these five questions will lead to whether you are following a quality process or not, right? So there are many such tools that are available to implement Kaizen. Okay, so I hope that all of you are following the various different topics that we have been explained till now. Okay, probably I may prepare and ask you people to take up one quiz probably by this weekend, either on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Okay, just a 20-minute or a 30-minute quiz where there will be some 20-30 questions of some of them will be fill up the blanks and some of them will be multiple choice. So what I'm going to do is all of you have to log in into the classroom as usual. Okay, I'll run my PPT with the questions. All of you have to individually write your answers in a sheet of paper live. Okay, and as soon as the class ends, you need to take a snapshot of that paper and then send it to the Google Classroom as a assignment or as a PDF, so that I will be evaluating your what to say quiz. Okay, I could have always done it as a what to say Google form also. Let me look into, I'll ponder over the method in which I can do it, or even Moodle. For that case, I can log into Moodle and pop in with all the questions, and you will be able to answer those questions. All right, so be prepared for a quiz sessions very quickly that is going to happen. And in the next class, we will take up the topic of Six Sigma. Okay, and then we will move into some of the what to say statistical tools for evaluation, like Pareto charts and all those stuffs. Okay, we may need another 4 classes for module 4. Okay, and then we will see module 5. We will try to wind up as quickly as possible. All right then. So I'll try to wind up my class now. Okay. I hope all of you have been listening to my talk and making some important points. Okay. So this subject is more about the understanding. There is nothing that you can by heart in this particular subject. So I hope all of you have listened to my talk and made some important what to say notes out of it. All right, then we will meet in the next class, and I'll inform you about the what to say quiz in the group as soon as possible. All right. Thank you for being online, and if there is any queries, you can all answer question. Ask me now. Any queries? Any queries? All right, then in this case, close the class.